Good morning and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the 173rd class of the Montana Law Enforcement Officer Basic Course. My name is Jeff Wilson. I am one of the training officers for the course. At this time, will you please rise for our national anthem?
Class 173, attention!
I would ask that we all pause for a moment of silence to honor all those officers before us that have made the ultimate sacrifice and lost their lives in their call to duty. Thank you. Would you please be seated? On behalf of the Montana Department of Justice family and members of the graduating class, we thank you for being with us today. I would also like to extend a special welcome to the sheriffs, chiefs, and all law enforcement officers who are with us to celebrate this occasion. It is now my pleasure to introduce our special guests for today's ceremony. Attorney General Tim Fox, Montana Supreme Court Justice Laurie McKinnon, Mr. Brian Lockerbie, Administrator for the Division of Criminal Investigations, Mr. Glenn Steiner, Administrator of the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. I would also like to introduce or mention the members of the Montana Law Enforcement Academy staff who, without their hard work and dedication, none of this could happen. Our support staff, Ms. Deborah Murray, Mr. Steve Slocum, Mr. David Pellin, and Mr. Matthew Gorman. Our training officers, Mr. Mike McCarthy, Mr. David Ortley, Ms. Rebecca Strait, Mr. Mike Dale, Mr. Scott Sterling, Mr. Brian Fisher, Ms. Natalie Adorney, Mr. Bruce Parks, Mr. Griffin Sutherland, Montana Highway Patrol Sergeant Zach Freeman, and Ms. Tanya Racky. I would now ask Administrator Steiner to come forward for his opening remarks.
Well, thanks, Jeff. We're here this afternoon to acknowledge your success as graduates. Since 1926, this building has been home to similar events for others who stood, like you, on the verge of a new adventure. On this first day of class, I mentioned two things. If you would be the person you said you were when you interviewed for the job, we would get along just fine. And that the day we were all working toward was the day you graduated and went back to work. First, I'd like to thank each of you for being good stewards of the agencies who hired you and displaying the behaviors and attitudes that they will now expect from you when you return to your agencies. Secondly, I'd like to remind you that the day we had been working toward is now here, and over the last 13 weeks we have talked about and practiced many things that I hope will adequately prepare you for the road ahead. In all experiences, there should be an element of personal reflection, and I would encourage you to make this a part of your personal and professional lives. What did I learn? Could I do better? And who should I thank? So what did we learn together over the course we can reflect on? It's not test scores or performance in practical scenarios that has gotten us to today. It's something I would refer to as front sight focus. Remembering your time at the range, to hit the target, the front sight is clear, not the target. The target is blurry, but if we always hit it, if the front sight is clear and on the target. The front sight becomes the next most important thing to focus our efforts on that will lead us to the desired outcome. The same can be said for your experience here. Remember, I previously said that the day we were all working toward was the day you go back to work. For us, this was our front sight focus. Even though the target, which is today, was blurry at times, very blurry at times, right? Our daily efforts were in focusing on the next training event or on the next challenge to overcome. We couldn't always see graduation day clearly, but we knew it would come. The other piece of reflection I'd like to offer is that we got here because of something called grit. The ability to persevere with passion for the long haul and to put in effort to get what was necessary to be done. Every year of our careers will present unique challenges. When the mission gets tough and it's too late to determine why you exist and what your purpose is, your front sight focus should always be crystal clear. This is where the path to success is envisioned, and grit is what it will take to get you there. Along the way, we also asked you how you were doing personally. Don't forget to communicate with those that support you and those you serve in your workplace communities. And do not forget to ask each other how we're doing. Asking each other this very important, simple mental health question is a 21st century policing expectation. Lastly, don't forget to celebrate your victories in life, like today, because they verify your front sight focus is accurate. We're here today to formally acknowledge and celebrate your commitment to each other, the agencies that saw something special in hiring you, and the families who carried the load while you were gone. Individual success rarely happens alone, so thank those who helped you along the way. The Academy's amazing staff were there with you every day, and to them, as I always do, I offer my sincere thanks for another job well done. To the graduates, your time to make a difference has begun. Someday, the character of your service as a peace officer will become a part of Montana's public safety legacy. Careers much like the basic course you just completed will pass before your eyes in a life very quickly. Eventually, there will be a last shift, last call, last time we wear the uniform that we have worked so hard to get and keep. It's now my honor and extreme pleasure to inform each of you that you met the requisites dictated by law and promulgated by rule for issuance of your diplomas as certification of your completion of the Law Enforcement Officer Basic Course 173. On behalf of the staff, I'd like to invite you back from time to time to share the amazing stories of your career with us. It's now my pleasure to introduce Attorney General Tim Fox. For the last 8 years, General Fox's front sight focus has been the relentless pursuit of safety and justice for the people of Montana. His grit in those areas and his genuine concern for Montana's public safety profession have made a difference. For that, we will always be grateful. General Fox.
Well, thank you, Administrator Steiner. Associate Justice McKinnon, thank you so much for being here and for being the public servant that you are. And good afternoon to everyone, including the friends and family that are joining us live stream today. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us, if only virtually. But I think that word virtue might be a little apropos here because we have virtuous public servants sitting here before us who've chosen a life of service and sacrifice, not only to the people of Montana, but those who visit our great country, our great state. And this is a very important day in the life of Montana as we celebrate our newest state, county, city, and tribal law enforcement officers. These ceremonies occur regularly, but they are by no means routine. And while your careers in public service are beginning, mine is winding down, at least in an official sense, in just a few short weeks. This is the last time that I'll have the honor of addressing Academy graduates, unless some future person might invite me, I might say. Class 173, you have achieved something very remarkable. Your basic training is complete. As you know, your badges are earned, not given. You have met or exceeded the performance standards that the Academy set for you. You have passed tests, endured trials, and persevered. And most of all, you have demonstrated the character that Montanans expect in their law enforcement officers. You have completed one part of your journey and are about to embark upon another. What you've learned here will be put to test. I grant you that. It will be put to test. As it is so often in life, you will continue to learn just as you have from the day you first stepped onto this campus up until your last shift. Law enforcement officers are often referred to as forming a thin blue line. This line separates civilization from chaos. You may all wear uniforms of green or black or tan or brown rather than blue, but you'll soon stand alongside your fellow officers from agencies across Montana to form a line that protects us from dangers both seen and unseen. Much of your success from today forward will depend on consistent communication and collaboration, constant learning, and as you learn, mentoring to those who come after you. And if I would be remiss if I didn't mention and acknowledge the teamwork, resiliency, and commitment of Academy leadership and staff who helped make this event a reality. Unlike many other law enforcement academies around the country, this campus has remained open for on-site instruction despite the pandemic. I am incredibly impressed by the remarkable team that kept training operational, positive, and moving forward against a backdrop of campus construction and COVID-19. And so thank you all for persevering, both staff and graduates, and finding a way forward without compromising the quality of the instruction the Academy is known for. I'm proud to consider you my colleagues and friends. And speaking of colleagues and friends, it is also apropos here today to recognize one of our own, Glenn Steiner. Glenn ran the Academy with class and with the perseverance that I talked to. He rose to the challenge all through this pandemic so far as he led our wonderful staff at the Academy to make things not just happen for you, but to happen for the people that you all serve. And that is ever so important. And in recognition of Administrator Steiner's efforts, and he will be the first to tell you he didn't do it alone, the governor of the state of Montana, Steve Bullock, has awarded Glenn the Governor's Award for Excellence. And we have that right now, and I want to present that to Glenn in front of all of you so that you might recognize him and give him a round of applause. And we're going to forego the handshake and the hugs, but I do have a challenge coin for you, Glenn. Thank you for your service. God bless you. So later this afternoon, I'll see the new renovations around campus, which were made to enhance living and working conditions here for many more years into the future. The completion of this work reflects significant investments in Montana's public safety community by the legislature and the Montana Department of Justice. We're blessed to live in a place, ladies and gentlemen, where most of our neighbors, the vast majority of our neighbors, feel strongly about supporting law enforcement. I've always said our law enforcement officers are our heroes. And even after I'm no longer your Attorney General, each of you will continue to have my admiration, my respect, and my deep gratitude. It's been a great honor to have been your partner in service to the people of Montana. And now I will go from serving with you to serving you. That will be my undying and lifelong responsibility. to support you and all of your colleagues across this great state. I'll end my remarks today with much the same words of advice that I gave my first Academy graduation nearly 8 years ago. Keep your life balanced. Work hard, but don't let your work dominate your life. You will see and experience some extremely difficult things throughout your career, but balance and moderation are the keys to moving forward and maintaining healthy relationships with family, friends, and neighbors. As much as you can, spend some of your free time volunteering and sharing your talents with our young people and others in need. And I would be remiss in not asking you to get involved with the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics, one of my favorite causes. It's a revolution of inclusion, and you will love every minute of your involvement. I hope you'll get involved and stay involved. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It can be difficult to admit when we need it, especially in a profession where strength, toughness, and perseverance are core virtues. But no one can be strong, tough, and persevere on his or her own. You certainly didn't get here by your own. Be a colleague that others can trust for help, and find a colleague you can ask for help when the time comes. And finally, a timeless lesson passed along to me from my father. Always strive to do the right things for the right reasons. Always strive to do the right things for the right reasons. Your character is measured by what you do when no one is watching. It is one of the few things in this life that you can control. Class 173, congratulations and Godspeed. I wish you and yours a healthy and safe holiday season and a successful career in law enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Steiner and Attorney General Fox. At this time, it is our custom to introduce officers who have achieved individual honors during their participation in the 173rd class of the Law Enforcement Officer Basic Course. Attorney General Fox will be presenting these awards. The Alan Kimmery Award is given to the officer in recognition of outstanding marksmanship by displaying excellence in the highest ranking in firearms training through marksmanship, safety, tactical proficiency, and the coaching of peers. This award is given in memory of Deputy Alan Kimmery of the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. Along with this award is a tuition scholarship to attend the Academy's Firearms Instructor course. The recipient of the Alan Kimmery Award for Class 173 is Jesse Short, Montana Highway Patrol, who is not with us during this ceremony. The Josh Rutherford Award is given to the officer in each class that exceeds in performance through mastering the skills associated with defensive tactics. This award is given in memory of Deputy Josh Rutherford. Deputy Rutherford was a deputy sheriff for the Blaine County Sheriff's Office and an adjunct defensive tactics instructor for the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. Along with this award is a tuition scholarship for the Academy's Defensive Tactics Instructor course. The recipient of the Josh Rutherford Award for Class 173 is William Clark, Montana Highway Patrol. The Jimmy Carroll Award is given to the officer in each class that has displayed outstanding scholastic achievement by obtaining the highest combined overall score in all academic areas. This award is given in memory of retired Sheriff Jimmy Carroll of the Fergus County Sheriff's Office. The recipient of the Jimmy Carroll Award for Class 173 is Matthew Wilson, Montana Highway Patrol. The Glenn Janes Award is given to the officer in each class who demonstrates the highest level of proficiency in the police vehicle operations course. This award is given in honor of Trooper Glenn Janes. Trooper Janes served many years honorably as a trooper for the Montana Highway Patrol and an adjunct driving instructor for the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. Along with this award is a tuition scholarship for the Academy's Police Vehicle Operation course. The recipient of the Glenn Janes Award for Class 173 is Eric Arnold, Montana Highway Patrol, who is not with us here today. The Alex Mavity Award is given to the officer in each class who has achieved the highest cumulative score on all academic and skill-based training modules. This includes a combination of academics, firearms, driving, defensive tactics, Montana physical abilities tests, scenario-based training, weekly performance evaluations. This award is given in memory of Detective Alex Mavity of the Billings Police Department. The recipient of the Alex Mavity Award for Class 173 is Ian Busta, Billings Police Department. The Paul Williams Award winner is selected by their peers and given to the officer in each class who has provided great inspiration to the staff and students through their display of unwavering dedication and never-ending determination. The award is given in memory of the late Sheriff Paul Williams of the Choteau County Sheriff's Office. In Fort Benton, there is a plaque that honors Sheriff Williams, which reads, "Service above all else except honor." The recipient of the Paul Williams Award for Class 173 is Mackenzie Lyons, Great Falls Police Department. She is not with us, present with us during this ceremony today. The Joe May Award winner is selected by their peers and given to the officer of each class for displaying exceptional leadership and an incredible sense of motivation. This award is given in remembrance of the late Joe May. Mr. May served as the Assistant Public Service Director for what was then known as Montana State College. He is one of several people credited with the creation of the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. The recipient of the Joe May Award for Class 173 is Cody Carriger, Billings Police Department. The Jack Wiseman Award is given in tribute to Mr. Jack Wiseman, who served for over 22 years as a training officer and administrator for the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. The winner is selected by their peers as the most outstanding officer of the class as a whole, based upon officers' display of exceptional professionalism by demonstrating an exemplary attitude, outstanding achievement in leadership, academics, health, fitness, and survival skills. The recipient of the Jack Wiseman Award for Class 173 is Cody Carriger, Billings Police Department. The Hal Vogelsang Award winner is selected by the Academy staff and given to an officer in each class who displays the highest degree of fidelity by consistently demonstrating through action and deeds the overall qualities of honor, pride, integrity, duty, loyalty, and service. This award is given in remembrance of the late Hal Vogelsang. Mr. Vogelsang served as an adjunct training officer for the Montana Law Enforcement Academy for over 25 years. The recipient of the Hal Vogelsang Award for Class 173 is Jesse Short, Montana Highway Patrol, who isn't present with us during this ceremony. No, sir. We have one more award to give if you would stay where you're at, please.
On behalf of DCI, Academy staff, every student who's ever had the pleasure to meet you, sir, obviously we wanted to come up with something that we thought was unique, and not only to the profession, but to the Law Enforcement Academy. And given your affinity for collections of things, we thought that we would come up with a lamp that you can put on your desk. It's got the base has got the Montana Law Enforcement Academy logo on it. The lamp itself is obviously a spotlight from a patrol car that you probably owned at one time, since you owned them all with the Department of Justice. So what we'd like to do, sir, is just gratitude is difficult, you know, on a scale as large as what we owe to you, but as a symbol of our appreciation, we certainly hope that you accept this on behalf of everybody that you've touched.
I'm honored and touched.
For the officers of Class 173, this is the part of the ceremony you have been looking forward to for 12 weeks. The presentation of your diplomas marks the conclusion of your education and training with us and serves as the highlight of today's ceremony. It signals the end of one phase of your career and the beginning of another. I would once again ask that Attorney General Fox present these officers their diplomas.
I'd first of all like to start with those officers that have graduated but are unable to be with us for the ceremony. Marcus Avalier, Fort Benton Police Department. Eric Arnold, Montana Highway Patrol. Patrick Brown, Motor Carrier Services. Taylor Corbett, Montana Highway Patrol. Hope Crow, Billings Police Department. John DiVenero, Richland County Sheriff's Office. Peyton Holmgren, Missoula Police Department. Joseph Kurkowski, Miles City Police Department. Kyle McLaughlin, Montana Highway Patrol. Alex Nimick, Helena Police Department. Aaron Nuno, Flathead County Sheriff's Office. Tristan Redhorn, Blackfeet Law Enforcement. Jesse Short, Montana Highway Patrol. J.C. Venata, Montana Highway Patrol. And Nicole Witcher, Motor Carrier Services. Christopher Barnes, Great Falls Police Department. Patrick Bernhardt, Montana Highway Patrol. Colton Blue, Phillips County Sheriff's Office. Ian Busta, Billings Police Department. Kendall Carden, Montana Highway Patrol. Michael Carey, Flathead County Sheriff's Office. Cody Carriger, Billings Police Department. Seth Christians, Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office. William Clark, Montana Highway Patrol. Evan Corneliuson, Billings Police Department. Hannah Evans, Montana Highway Patrol. Carl Fremmel, Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. John Fricke, Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. Tony Halverson, Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office. Ronald Hennelly, Rosebud County Sheriff's Office. Luke Jester, Montana Highway Patrol. Matthew Jones, Belgrade Police Department. Timothy Dragonsky, Madison County Sheriff's Office. Mark Kletke, Chinook Police Department. Daniel Kozlowski, Missoula Police Department. Eric Loss, Billings Police Department. Gage Lewis, Montana Highway Patrol. William Link, Motor Carrier Services. Alec Lugo, Cascade County Sheriff's Office. Jeffrey Myers, Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office. Joshua McFarland, Laurel Police Department. Justin Merrill, Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office. Brandon Murnion, Havre Police Department. Kyler Parmalee, Flathead County Sheriff's Office. Demas Patina, Great Falls Police Department. Faith Robinson, Phillips County Sheriff's Office. Stephanie Schlickman, Belgrade Police Department. Edward Stafford, Motor Carrier Services. Christian Upham, Blackfeet Law Enforcement. Brandon Van Zee, Montana Highway Patrol. Dustin Vapp, Montana Highway Patrol. Howard Walker, Confederated Salish Kootenai Tribe Fish and Game. Zachary Welton, Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office. Robert Wickham, Hill County Sheriff's Office. Mackenzie Wilgus, Glendive Police Department. Matthew Wilson, Montana Highway Patrol.
Congratulations to all the officers of the Law Enforcement Officer Basic Class 173. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the class representative for Class 173, Cody Carrigan.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Officer Cody Carrigan with the Billings Police Department and a proud member of LEOB Class 173. First, I want to begin by saying thank you to all our guests here today. Whether you're here in person or watching from home, we're all very thankful for you all. Thank you. To understand the full journey of Class 173, we need to start at the beginning. 12 weeks ago, 60 strangers reported here to the Montana Law Enforcement Academy from all over the great state of Montana. Even though every single one of us came from a different walk of life, we're all here for one common reason. That reason is simple, but not easy, and I will get to the reason in a moment. On the first day of the academy, I remember every single one of us. We're all excited. It took only, and ready for a challenge, that the next 12 weeks would bring us. Most of us were strangers, and it only took a short few days for everyone to get along. It was at that moment I realized that this class was special. It takes a rare group of people to put their egos, beliefs, and differences aside for the success of a group as a whole. As the weeks carried on, our class continued to surprise me. Every day that passed, our bond as a class got stronger, and we all as individuals got better. What all of you need to understand, that these tasks were not easy. Our class has endured a multitude of adversity, between losing 3 of our classmates in the beginning, to trying to get through a very strenuous academy during the biggest pandemic of our lives. And let's not forget the negative image that has been portrayed of law enforcement throughout our country today. Needless to say, times have been tough. However, I'm proud to say that our class, by remaining relentless, remained even tougher. It says a lot about all of their characters. To all the sheriffs, chiefs, judges, and respected citizens of Montana, I'm standing in front of you today, full-hearted and honored to tell you that all of you are getting great peace officers from the class of 173. Even more importantly, you're getting amazing human beings. Let's now go back to the 12 weeks ago when we all came together for that one common but not easy goal. The goal of being that thin blue line between good and evil. We have to hold that line no matter the chaos, no matter how bad it gets. We must never give in. You are all ready, you are all prepared, and we are the members of class of 173, and we will hold that line. I believe it's time for some thanks to be given to the training officers. On behalf of all of us, I want to sincerely say thank you. It's because of you that we are here today, prepared to take the streets as peace officers. I want to thank you all for your dedication and countless hours they have spent making us better individuals. We realize that this academy was just as hard on you as it was on us, and we are truly blessed for your hard work. Your jobs are not easy. You have 12 weeks to take a group of strangers and to train them to be the best officers they can possibly become. I can honestly say that you all did a job well done, and that many of your lessons and stories will stick with us for the rest of our careers and possibly the rest of our lives. Lastly, I believe it is very important to not forget about the service you all have done. With all of you, there is well over 140 years of service and sacrifice that you have given to our communities, state, and country. On behalf of Class 173, I applaud you and I thank you for all that you have done. Administrator Steiner, it has been a very chaotic past 12 weeks for you. We want to say thank you for doing your very best and getting us through this academy, so thank you. To our families and friends watching back home, thank you so much for your love and patience the past 12 weeks. It could not have been easy for you. Your love and support will never be forgotten. It is at this time in our careers that we are going to need you even more. There are going to be times while at work that we experience something traumatic. When we come home, there might be anger, sadness, and possibly disbelief. It's going to be you that we always fall back to. Whether it's for your shoulder to cry on or if it's just for a pretty good pep talk, we'll always need you. You are the most important people in our lives, and we'll love you and we cherish you forever. Thank you. To the Class of 173, the day has finally come. It's been a long and strenuous journey. We have finally made it. First, I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for your hard work, positive attitudes, and dedication the past 12 weeks. Throughout our time here, I had the pleasure to get to know all of you. I got the chance to watch this class grow. It was a very, very cool experience to see all of you come to the Academy as strangers and to grow as brothers and sisters, which created the bonds and friendships that we are leaving with today. As I look at all of your faces and think of the ones from our class back home watching, I couldn't be more proud of you all. As cheesy as it sounds, I could not be more blessed to be part of this experience with you all. As this day ends and we return to our respective communities, remember the training you received here. Along with the training, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to be relentless. In our careers, we'll always have more to do. Another call, another task, another goal, and the evil in this world will always be watching, waiting, looking for the moment of weakness, looking for you to exhale, set your shield down, and close your eyes for even just a moment, and that's when it will attack. Never be complacent. It is at this time you need to remain relentless. Let the evil in this world stop. Let it rest. Let it be complacent. Don't ever stop. Don't ever rest. Be relentless. Secondly, I challenge you to never be out of the fight. There will be times in our careers where we get beat down mentally and physically, and there may even be a time when we have to fight for our lives. I challenge you, no matter the circumstances, to stand and fight. Fight against weakness, against fear, against time, and against decay, and always fight back. Go down swinging in everything you do. Give every day everything you got. And when you face challenges, even something you do not believe you can win, or a situation where you simply cannot win, always remember this: you have nothing to lose, so stand up, move forward, and never be out of the fight. Lastly, I challenge you to shed light in this world. You have to realize that the sun will not shine every day. Storms will come, and there are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be all alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. Do not let it consume you. Even in the darkest times, in the strongest storms, and the world around you is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your life, because the darkness only wins if you let it. Be relentless, never be out of the fight, and bring your light to this world. For my final words, I simply want to remind you, we all took an oath to serve the citizens of our community and to protect those that need our protection. We chose these responsibilities. We chose to be that thin blue line. As we part today, I'd just like to leave us with a little prayer. Almighty God, whose great power and eternal wisdom embraces the universe, Watch over all policemen and law enforcement officers. Father in heaven, please give them the strength, courage, and perseverance to endure the unjust danger and physical abuse to which they are at times subjected. We recommend them to your loving care because their duty is dangerous. Dear God, grant these brave men and women your almighty protection. Unite them safely with their families after the duty has ended. Amen, and thank you.
Thank you, Officer Carragher. At this time, I would ask the Supreme Court Justice McKinnon come forward to administer the Criminal Code of Ethics, Justice Code of Ethics. Traditionally, we have allowed all law enforcement in attendance to rise and affirm the Code of Ethics. Today, we will only have law enforcement officers from Basic 173 rise and affirm the Code of Ethics, which will allow each officer to individually state their name. Now I ask that the officers of Class 173 to rise and affirm the Code of Ethics.
Class 173, attention.
You'll have to listen to my remarks afterwards. You can't leave. And I also hope that my phone doesn't go off when I'm talking. I got a new one. I don't know how to turn it off. But at any rate, raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, and each officer.
Open blue. Ian Buster.
Kendall Harding.
Mike Carey. Cody Carrier. Seth Richards. William Clark. Kevin Corneliuson. Tony Walterson. Ronald Henry. Luke Jesser. Matthew Jones. Timothy Jagonski. Mark Leckie. Dan Kozlowski. Eric Loss. James Lewis. William Wayne. Alec Ludo. Jeffrey Garner. Joshua Park. Justin Merrill. Brandon Merkin. Kyle Parker. Enos Patina.
Faith Robinson. Stephanie Sherman.
Edward Snyder.
Christian Elliott.
Brandon Manzi. Duffy Knott. Howard Walker.
Zach Weldon. Robert Wickham.
Mackenzie Wilgus.
Matthew Willis.
Swear or affirm as a criminal justice officer. My fundamental duty is to serve mankind. Safeguard lives and property. To protect all persons against deception. The weak against oppression or intimidation. And the peaceful against violence or disorder. And to respect the constitutional rights of all people to liberty, equality, and justice. I apologize. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals. Dedicating myself before God and my chosen profession. You may have a seat. So I won't take a lot of time. I would just like to shed a little bit of the other branch of government, which is the judicial branch, and my perspective on your jobs. Anyone on the court and any judge understands that your job won't be easy. When you approach that vehicle that you pulled over for a suspected DUI, your first thought probably is, what personally could happen to me? Is this person on meth? Do they have a firearm? Are they a fleeing felon? But you are also approaching another human being with certain rights and an expectation that he or she will be treated fairly and justly, because you represent our government and the rules we have played by since our founding fathers developed and wrote the Constitution. Conversely, when you approach that vehicle and the individual in that vehicle, you also represent the community as its guardian and protector. So you have a very difficult job, and you have to decide that balance and perceive and follow those parameters. We don't need police officers who see themselves as warriors. We need police officers who see themselves as guardians and members and parts of the community. You can't police a community that you're not part of. Right now, it is so important that we have faith in our government institutions and that they will work as our founding fathers envisioned and designed them to work. It is so important for communities to have faith in their law enforcement officers. No matter what is said about you, you will always be the one that gets the call when that same person needs help. That is the nature of being a public servant. Maintain your vigilance to training and be competent and well-versed in your policy and procedures. Understanding those parameters and following those rules will protect you when you are pushed to the outer boundaries of your work. I would offer, to help keep the balance between guardian and community, the following quote from Bryan Stevenson. Now, before I get to that, I want to tell you right now, the court has a case pending in front of it. We haven't decided it yet. It's a triple homicide out of Great Falls, and the Supreme Court has recently issued several decisions regarding youth and the rehabilitation of youth, and that sentencing a youth to life without parole is cruel and unusual punishment. So this court in Montana is grappling with a triple homicide sentencing that occurred decades ago. And of all the cases that you see coming out of the districts, the states, this is probably one of the most heinous crimes that has been committed. And it's by a 17-year-old, now 51, I believe, and it was done just before his 18th birthday. So I found this quote useful in how I look at, and I have sentenced people for homicides, and it's always difficult. This case particularly is difficult. But I found this quote useful, and I think it's important for you to hear it because it kind of pushes you to the other side and the parameters that you're going to be up against. It's by Bryan Stevenson, who is a African-American lawyer, educated at Harvard, and he is a very strong leader in the criminal justice reform. I've come to understand and to believe that each of us is more than the worst thing we have ever done. I believe that for every person on the planet, I think if somebody tells a lie, they're not just a liar. I think if somebody takes something that doesn't belong to them, they're not just a thief. I think even if you kill someone, you're not just a killer. And because of that, there's this basic human dignity that must be respected by law. I have so much respect for you and the job you will do. It takes a special person to commit themselves to helping in situations which represent the worst of mankind and the tragic circumstances of life. You will see things that I have to protect jurors from seeing and balance the probative value of those pictures that you take, those videos you take, and decide whether the stress, the emotional stress on that juror is worth that. And you will see that all the time. But never forget that we are so thankful that you are there and that we can call and count on you to be our guardians and be a part of our community. Thank you, God bless you, and be safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our graduation ceremony. We thank you for being with us on this momentous occasion. To the graduates of Class 173, on behalf of Attorney General Tim Fox, Supreme Court Justice Laurie McKinnon, Administrator Brian Lockerbie, Administrator Glenn Steiner, and the entire MLEA staff, we wish each of you health, happiness, and success in all you do in your new careers as law enforcement professionals. Thank you.
Class 173, attend and gentlemen. Dismissed.